Welcome to the Gearwire.com Crosstalk podcast for Friday, August 3rd. I'm your host, Mike Payne, and I'm joined by Dan Augusto.
Hey, everybody.
And Britton Weatherall.
Yeah.
Drew Cragg couldn't make it this week, but in his spirit, we're going to carry on and do our best without him. First up, this week, we're going to take a look at Korg's upcoming KAOSS Pad 3, which was recently discovered on the web. We've also got some more videos from Summer NAMM 2006 live on Gearwire.com. We're going to take a closer look at those. And our special showcase of the week, we'll be taking a look at some free soft synth plugins available on the web. We're going to take a look at the ContraLogic Leto synth, which is a Jen SX1000 emulator. The Jen SX1000 was a knockoff of the Minimoog-like subtractor synths of an era past. Also, we've got Big Tick Audio's Cheeze Machine, which is a Solina string ensemble mockery. Nice sounding, cheesy fun. Also got the Ephonic Invader, which is a Spacey's 70s effect synth. Last, we've got the Crackly Cygnus, which is a 127 preset synth, a la late 80s analog, something a poor man's Vangelis would adore. Don't give me a hard time. It's a tough Friday. The GUI with this one is entirely strange, and we'll take a look at that.
Well, there's a couple different ones. I got like a standard one and like a crazy space
where you
one.
turn off.
But we'll take a look at that. We got both of them.
And we'll literally take a look at that this week. One quick reminder before we get started, the Gearwire.com forums are now live. Visit our forums at forums.gearwire.com. We got lots of cool topics being discussed. The Gearwire forums have already picked up a lot of steam. Join the conversation, join the buzz, speak your piece at forums.gearwire.com.
Do it.
Britton is actually on the forums right now as we speak.
Wireless. You don't even want to know what I'm talking about right now. It's illegal in 48 states.
Well, there you go, as long as this isn't one of them.
Actually, it is legal in Chicago to put you up for sale. That's right.
Okay, yeah. Sweet.
We're eBaying Mike Payne now, guys. Come on down. We got Mike Payne for sale.
A click monkey.
Click monkey.
All right, first up this week, we got the some news from Korg. The KAOSS Pad 3 has been pseudo-announced. The KAOSS Pad 3 takes the touch-sensitive control matrix of the older KAOSS pads and adds an LED grid layout with 64 LEDs in an 8x8 pattern. The result is a more communicative matrix system allowing for visual feedback of your control system. It allows for beat and pattern sequencing right on the touchpad matrix, in addition to the original features of the original KAOSS Pad. Also, in this one, it's got SD memory, which has been added to allow for more recording and extended sampling. Also, the KAOSS Pad 3 includes new effects, a grain shifter, bit-reducing decimator. Also, the unit has a vocoder, vinyl looping, a ring mod, synth sounds, even drum sounds. A Swiss Army knife of electro music fun. What do you guys think of that? Did you guys take a look?
I wasn't paying attention. Can you repeat yourself?
No.
I actually, I've been looking into the KAOSS Pad. There's an interesting post on a blog called Shepatology. Shepatology, I think it is.
Okay.
We'll put the link up on the Crosstalk page, where he actually used the KAOSS Pad 2 as a synthesizer somehow through FL Studio. But anyway, back to the KAOSS Pad 3. It seems like KAOSS Pad is really popular with a lot of electronic musicians, and this one basically it's just a big step up because it's got that matrix for arpeggiation, and that can be used to send out MIDI, so you can control other synths and things like that with the arpeggiator, which is a pretty cool feature. You could use it to run drums, and there's different levels of the LED apparently. So like it could send out different velocities depending on which box in the matrix it's on.
Sure.
So it does look like a pretty cool thing. I'd be excited to definitely try it out because I've been getting into using like outboard arpeggiators lately.
Okay.
You can get some pretty cool sounds.
Right.
I'm digging it.
Yeah.
Yes. Wait. Did I just say something nice?
Where's the negative?
That's coming later. Anyways, it's a really they totally ripped it off of that DIY thing. If you look down the DIY the touchscreen one, which is totally way more innovative in my opinion. If you could get one of those marketed successfully, I'd be way more excited about that.
But I mean, then you need to buy a touchscreen like
Right.
Laptop or something.
Yeah. I mean, this is definitely a more affordable version of what but that concept is way cooler in my opinion. But yeah, this is cool. This is kind of like in Reason they have the Matrix sequencer where they basically just lay out and map a physical version of what that is, and that's cool. And I appreciate that. On the bad end of it, like kind of negative into the things. I don't like the way it looks as far as an interface is concerned. Like the way like the screen should be a little bit bigger in my opinion, and there should be less stuff around it. Well, it doesn't seem as it seems way too like oriented as like looking like a toy than an actual tool.
Well, it's kind of hard to judge the or like gauge the size on it just from looking at JPEGs.
If it's anything like the original KAOSS Pad, which is I'm probably saying small. That they're looking at like there's just to do grid. See, this is why I wanted a mic stand, okay? To do grid sort of mapping and touch things, you know what I mean? And just move them around appropriately. You need something a little bit bigger than what the normal KAOSS Pad is, which is like, just a little finger thing that you can go, it's not even that big.
I can get you a mic stand.
Can I get a mic stand?
Yeah, let's get Britton a mic stand.
Because I talk with my hands. It's the problem, is that like I do a lot of hand talking. Anyways, so like you have that small pad. It's going to be really hard to organize and do anything like orienting towards making non-random music, because that would be great for random and non-linear thinking and like IDM things like that where they need randomization patterns. But like as far as like making a sequence and an arpeggiation in key, it's gonna be less user intuitive. Overall, it's a great
just
concept.
because of the size.
Yeah.
And back that touchscreen thing. Apparently, it does run on non-touchscreen computers, which is pretty cool, but you just have to mouse around it and stuff.
Yeah, but like that's ideal for me. Like something where like even if it wasn't like a touch screen, say like it was like a KAOSS Pad with just a larger interface, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like something that was like, the size of a computer keyboard, just because like it lays everything out a lot easier. You could utilize it for more than one purpose outside of arpeggiation, for like maybe drum beat patterns, things like that. It's a grid, so it makes everything a lot more robotic and glitchy, but it'd be great for that.
You can still run it out and run drum patterns.
Mm-hmm. No, of course. But like I'm just saying, just out of like the this versus this as far as size. And people can actually see that now. Like this big, you know what I mean? Like a small square is going to be less easy to utilize than like that.
Yeah, definitely.
Right.
I would say make it big.
I think to its defense, though, its size has always been kind of a value, especially since, DJs use this quite a bit.
In an original KAOSS Pad thought, I agree with you. Yeah. But as far as like grid pattern sequencing and arpeggiation and stuff like that, it's totally anti-intuitive to have it that small.
Sure.
Just like ergonomically. That's all I'm saying from like an industrial design standpoint.
Right.
You can get down with me on this one at least.
No. I agree with you. Do you think 8x8's enough?
See, now we're making compromises.
Yeah.
Korg, listen to us.
Yeah, it'd be cool if they maybe came out with like a KAOSS Pad LX or something like that.
Yeah,
that was maybe twice
expanded.
The size. Yeah. I don't know.
I don't think the slider needs to be there, in my opinion. Like, I think just more of an intuitive interface with maybe like 2 or 3 rotary encoded knobs.
You see, if you lose something like that, there's going to be. I mean, if you lose anything, there's going to be people complaining. There's going to be people praising. There's going to be people complaining.
I think. I mean, my only problem with KAOSS, like outside arpeggiators, is they really do the I'm redoing the same thing over instead of building on it. Like Korg released the EMX series, those Electro-Harmonix modules. Yeah. I thought it was a genius idea, but poorly executed. Modules for different functions, different things, totally separate from each other. So when they release another one, it's another part of the puzzle. I think they should have done that with the KAOSS Pad, where it's like separate idea, but to build with the other KAOSS Pads, and you can use them in conjunction.
Okay.
All right.
One thing I did not mention before we move on, it does include USB and an editor librarian.
I love that too.
Yeah, so that's cool functionality.
Yeah. Definitely, it's a cool piece.
I think it's a cool piece. No matter what, it's good. And cool. I'm actually saying something. This is going to be a lot of nice things podcast. Because
thumbs up on this first one.
Yeah.
Cool.
Thumbs up. I'm excited about
it. And if we were
piece.
Any closer, I'd give you a high five.
Dude, Princeton Recording Amp.
All right. We're going right on to that.
Dude,
next.
that thing is awesome.
Sweet.
Yeah. Very cool.
The first Gearwire video that we're going to review this week is for the Fender Princeton Recording Amp. It's a very innovative new product by Fender. It's basically a low-watt tube recording amp with a hot plate built in. Let's take a look at that video.
Hi, Shane Nicholas from Fender here to tell you about the Princeton Recording Amp. Now, we at Fender have had requests to reissue the mid-60s blackface Princeton reverb for years. We could easily have done that, but we decided to incorporate some new technologies to the old design to reach a broader group of players. The Princeton part of this amp is a full-on tube amp, 6V6 output tubes, 12AX7 and 12AT7 preamp tubes, Jensen speaker. It's all what you would expect from a Princeton reverb. Long spring.
I hate tube emulation.
Thank you.
That's from a previous episode. But yeah, no tube emulation.
No, this thing is fabulous. This thing is everything that I've wanted from a Fender style recording amp.
Did we get a price point on that?
Oh gosh, I don't think we did.
No,
I don't.
He didn't mention it.
Okay, no.
But
nice to know.
Let me see how much the Princeton is. Go over.
I mean, like, awesome. Great idea. Great for people like me who do live in an apartment. But I also think it's great for, like, I could see larger studios using it because it's just easy to get isolation out of it. So, like, you're trying to do that, Fender tone, and you need, like, a great recording amp. Instead of busting out the 59 Bassman and, like, getting a hot plate, you got this just lying around and it's like 15 pounds lighter. You know what I mean?
Right.
The thing is awesome. It's great. I mean, it's a brilliant idea. There's not much to get around it. You know what I mean? There's not much I can be like, well, you know what? Like, I can't go 15 minutes onto it, but, like, I can just say that it in its simplicity, it's a very, very great product.
You gonna buy one?
Yeah, probably after I get a Porsche.
Yeah,
Okay.
my guess is probably around $500.
Okay.
Because the Princeton alone is about $400.
Britton, you'll probably hold out for the Line 6 amp modeling version.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The KB 37.
I got some other purchasing things, such as getting better axes.
Yeah.
And stuff first, but there's another, like, there's a 5-watt recording amp made by Orange also that I think that if they did this more, like, did more of a what Fender did and said, you know what, we're going to make this geared towards recording and practicing, I would have been a lot more excited about it.
Yeah, Fender's always got some good ideas going on. And one other thing, in the video, he's playing the Highway 1, new Highway 1.
Oh, wow.
Now, the old Highway 1, these things are affordable as heck.
Yeah.
They're like, what, $600-something?
Yeah, no, I mean, like, and they're American made, but those upgrades I heard are just...
I mean, I got the old one and I replaced one of the pickups, but that's my main axe.
Yeah.
Like, I'm playing it tonight. Come to Sergio's house, everyone.
No, yeah, but, like, honestly, I love that the Fender really geared this towards recording. Like, they made this too, because like I said, there's, like, Epiphone makes a small 5-watt amp that's, like, kind of, it's good, it's great, head. We've had it in here at one point in time in the early days of the podcast, and it was good, but it didn't have, like, that true to life sound that
there was
has.
no reverb. I think,
Yeah, there's no reverb.
No, and this has compression, which is nice.
Yeah, and overdrive if you're really hard up for some overdrive. You know what
So I mean, you can mic it up, and you can take a direct out, and it's beautiful.
That's the thing, is that, like, you get so much more flexibility. Like I said, these other 5-watt recording amps that people are putting out, which are mainly just heads, and maybe they lack that ingenuity and, like, feature orientation towards, like, who's going to be really using this. Nobody's going to be going in a 5-watt recording amp in their home without having some sort, like, outside of practicing.
Unless they have a metal zone.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, that 5-watt recording amp is going to get cranked, it's going to get played, and it's going to get recorded. That's the main purpose of those amps, is recording. And, like, I think Fender just did an excellent job. I'm amazed.
Well, cool. Well, that's exciting news.
We're 2 for 2. What the heck's going on?
Honestly. We got some Numark gear next. Are you going to be nice on these too?
Schrock going to double my salary.
All right. Let's take a look.
Here's the IDJ.
Okay.
Well, here we are at the other side of the booth. This is what everybody's talking about. This is the Numark IDJ2. What this is a mixer for your iPod. The first one you may be familiar with. The IDJ first came out. Everybody said, hey, we need beat matching. Well, here it is for you right here. This is actually going to take your iPod and allow you to beat match from one. You're going to call up a track on this side, play this side. You're going to call up another track, cue up this track, and you're going to be able to see your beats per minute on the screen.
Okay, so what do you guys think?
It's a bandwagon product.
Dude, that thing is horrible.
It sucks.
No, like, it's totally not meant for anybody who's really going to DJ. iPods are great personal listening devices and are great, storage devices for when you're hard up and you need to get something from mix studio A to mix studio B or whatever. It's great for that. It is not a crate. It's not a vinyl crate. It's not a CD crate. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's a horrible product. I think it's stupid.
Yeah.
Dan?
It's just boring. There's not enough features. There's no way to like nudge tracks or anything like that.
There's no way to manipulate it, really.
I also have a chip on my shoulder about an iPod. I don't have one. I don't think I'll ever have one.
I don't have one.
It's just a bandwagon product. People are going to buy this because they have their iPods.
I went to a couple of parties and people like thought they were DJs because they were using iTunes to mix.
Well,
and, it's just like that's just not what a DJ. I mean, like
mixing is fun, but it's not what a real DJ is going to do. You're not going to do real DJ work on this. No. Like you can buy it and maybe have fun at parties, but
it's a $500 hey, my friend's drunk and he loves to pick songs. Let's get him on that thing.
So good at picking songs.
Yeah, exactly.
Really
do you want to be remembered for picking songs? Anyways, about the MP3 thing is that I think engineers should be mixing for MP3s because you're going to be doing this. This is the new thing and it's just going to happen. So it's just like make an MP3 mix instead of a television mix, for example. You know what I mean? Like one that is specifically geared towards minimizing the losslessness of compression and masking problems and so on and so forth.
How do you recommend doing that sort of thing, Britton?
How do I recommend doing that? Well,
little tip for the kids.
Okay. Well, I would start basically phasing the trumpets and things like that. Just trying to figure out where, let's say you got a mix of 24 tracks. Anything that's in the sound and in frequency quality. All right. I would start phasing and fiddling around with trying to figure out where they are in the spectrum.
So to kind of like work against the masking.
Yeah. Work against the masking, because what will happen is that when you mask and compress, you are actually going to let's say you have 5 trumpets, right? You're going to go down to 1 trumpet because it's going to compress them together. So maybe I would change some frequency qualities to minimize that masking, because you're still going to get masking, it's still going to happen, but to maybe broaden and bring out more of the mix, like when you're using 2 kick drums, like in a band, like the Warlocks, they have 2 drummers, and you can't tell that they're doing 2 drums. And if they just maybe made 1 kick drum a little more punchy and 1 a little bit lower, you would maybe be able to identify these things.
Yeah, that's a good tip.
Yeah, I mean, I know I don't talk about mixing a lot, but I'm really critical. But those are some of those things that you need to really think about, is where this mix is going. I don't have time to do it on my own stuff a lot of the time. But when I'm mixing for somebody and they're like, I'm going to put this on MySpace, I'm immediately thinking MP3. I'm going to make it sound good as an MP3, not necessarily as a wave. You know what I mean? Because a wave file is going to interact differently. So
definitely,
I'm going to have to disagree with both you guys on the IDJ2.
Really?
First of all, now you guys, tell you what, if I'm a DJ and I'm going to go do a gig, you guys can carry my crates. I'll carry a little iPod. It's a little tiny iPod in my pocket. Now here's the thing. Now Britton, you mentioned Britton, you mentioned comparison between vinyl and MP3.
Yeah.
The audience, the dance floor, not going to know the difference.
Not going to know the difference.
Not going to know at all.
But I'm saying, just my whole rant about the MP3 so is that I think, because I've seen a lot of engineers and stuff like that, really get angry at MP3, and stuff like that. It's like, hey, you can't get rid of it. Start mixing for it. Because at first when CDs were out, everybody was like, tape guys were like, dying of heart attacks. And it's like, you know what? Just get over it. Start making your mixes.
Mix for 16 bits.
Yeah, mix for 16 bits. Just start utilizing what you have and start making it good on what your medium is.
Put a high pass filter on everything.
Yeah. And a low pass.
And a low pass. Put a band pass filter on everything.
Dude, you end up doing that though, honestly. Half the time, you're sitting there, you're like, I need to make my mix sound good, and you don't have time to take it to a mastering facility, so you throw on a high pass to make the hiss kind of drown out a little bit on your 16-bit, kind of dither it down a little bit, warm it up. So lazy. I love it.
Was that low pass?
Low pass.
Low pass.
Yeah, low pass.
I'm sorry. I used
to get those confused.
Cut.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Low cut, high cut. Yeah, whatever.
All right. So we got one more video to take a look at. The Electro-Harmonix HOG, which is a harmonic octave generator. Quite a beast. Let's take a look at that.
Let's start with the HOG, the harmonic octave generator, guitar synthesizer. This pedal generates octaves. Let me begin by showing you 1 octave below the original sound. See how well it tracks? You can play chords. You can also go down 2 octaves. You can go up a fifth, an octave plus a fifth, 2 octaves.
Here's the thing: can you make it go like bass tones when you're playing like a chord? Can it just play the root?
I don't know. It's like
I'm looking for something that'll do that because that would be like the greatest solution for the 2-piece band right there.
actually there's a Boss pedal that can.
Is that the
that'll do
OC3?
that. The OC3, yeah.
Yeah, we just need to make it growl.
Because if you put it in polyphonic mode, it tries to find the root. The thing is that there's no pitch pedal out there that's perfect.
No,
There's no perfect pitch pedal.
there isn't. But like, like the root, like I mean, it'd be really hard to like engineer something that would be like just play the root octave below.
Well, I mean, Roger Nichols has a plugin that does some crazy stuff. Why not? Why can't we have a perfect pitch pedal?
I don't know.
Perfect pitch pedal.
Yeah.
I'm too tired to battle minds with you right now, Dan.
It's a cool pedal, the HOG. It's kind of like the POG, which is their polyphonic octave generator.
Yeah.
But I guess it's just there's a few more features, especially with expression and things like that.
Kind of boring.
Yeah, I mean it's one of those like as you said before while we were watching it, one of those things that like you spend $400 on the pedal and you use it for one song.
Right.
Yeah, it's a one-trick pony.
Yeah, pretty. I don't know. It's pretty cool. I kind of want one.
So do I.
Just for that factor where I want one song where I use it.
Yeah, no, definitely.
And it'll be cool, but
definitely. But it's definitely limited, and it's not like wow, array of possibilities. It's like you get caught doing that like 3 times in 3 different songs, you're totally gonna get called out on it.
It does the whammy too. The 2 things it does in my I can say the 2 cool things that it does the harmonics, and I don't really like the lower octaves on a guitar, especially when you're playing with a bassist.
Yeah.
I guess if you're not playing with a bassist, it's cool, but I like the upper harmonics. I like the fact that they can fade in. I don't like the fact that they're still going like getting all weird and stuff. I wish that didn't happen. But as you said, it's really hard to engineer. And the whammy's kind of cool. I don't use whammy myself, but
yeah, but if you do that like for 3 songs and like throughout the set, there's a fat drunk guy who will throw a beer bottle at you.
Yeah. I've been there.
You can't edit that out.
I've been there.
That stays. That was a good joke that stays.
Had a good experience. All right.
Moving on.
So next we've got the Gearwire special feature this week. We've got we're going to take a look at some free software synthesizers which are available on the web, and you can actually check those out at gearwire.com. We'll actually link to the download pages so you can check them out yourself. Are any of these available for Mac or just PC?
These guys, one of the guys, the Magical 8-bit plugin that I have on here, it's all over the web right now.
Okay.
That's available AU and VST.
Okay.
But
the others,
if you want to go free, free plugins,
you're gonna have to
take that, Mac guy.
I just recently switched over to Mac because my PC's motherboard died. I like it. It's stable. I'm using OS 9 though. I'm using OS 9.2, so I'm so old school. It's Pro Tools. It tracks. It doesn't have anything else.
You can't do this.
Woo!
Expose. That's it. So let's.
Who in God's right mind cares? Actually, I can do that.
You can do that in 9?
Yeah.
Let's check out some of these plugins.
Blessed to lord over you.
How about this?
I can't do that, but I don't care.
Sweet.
Sweet.
All right. So first of all, our very own Dan Augusto put together some samples of these synths. So first of all, let's take a look at the.
We're gonna do Leto first.
Yeah, we're gonna do Leto first.
Okay. Yeah, Leto is. As we said before, it's a emulation of the Jen SX1000, which is an Italian knockoff of sort of like a mini Moog or other like subtractive synths. It's got a real lo-fi sound, which I really like, and it actually inspired me like that it's sort of video game sounding. So I did this little video gamey type piece.
This reminds me of the Electric Light Parade at Disney.
They should make a Commodore 64 plugin.
They should. That'd be cool.
Capitol Records, man, here you come.
Yeah,
that's sweet.
That was awesome.
There's also one, like, just kind of comparison. I also just ran the MIDI through the Magical 8-bit plugin, which is everyone's favorite plugin right now. All right, this is what it sounds like. Is this more Nintendo or is the other one?
This is more Nintendo.
All right.
Wait. I love that thing. I want it. I want it to have my children. I want the 8-bit gospel to ring through.
See, I like the Jen emulator. I like the Leto.
That one's a good emulator, but that one's cool too.
We should play with it a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because it's laid out, like a standard subtractive synth.
Make sure we're set up.
Click on this guy. Yeah, you are.
I brought it up. Okay. It's right here. Yeah.
You can make some wicked porn
Dude,
music
I'll
with
play
that.
You modulate?
Our camera guy just heard that and nobody else said it was beautiful.
This is a pulse waveform. You can change the pulse width from 50% to 5%. There's a pulse width modulation. There's vibrato. There's a single LFO, and you could modulate the filter or and the vibrato off the same one. Here we're gonna go to the square wave. You can change the octave. And the filter's pretty nasty sounding.
It's a really cheap filter and curve.
Yeah, but I like it.
Yeah. Ooh, I like that. That's nice. This is a good plugin.
It's got a noise generator. That's how I got the snare sound. You can just bring that down, and it's got white or pink noise. You can control the level. And it's also got a glide. Play some pretty cool leads with that. Also, it's got the envelope. Couple volumes. So it's a pretty cool plugin. The actual Jen has a lot more knobs, but I think this is just your basic stuff.
Yeah,
So,
good.
Yeah,
Good.
I like it a lot. What's next?
Let's take a look at the Cheeze Machine.
All right.
We'll listen to
Oh,
Jan's beautiful composition here.
You can download. Press W before you press spacebar. But you can download these. Make sure you check out the links on our Crosstalk XML page. Here. Kind of. You can just click on the rack.
Okay.
Like switch between them.
I don't know Sonar.
Yeah, this is Sonar. It's my plugin, or it's my host of choice. Here we go. This is the Cheeze Machine emulator of sort of like a Solina. Brings the cheese.
Yeah, it's nice. I like this. I'm gonna start an emo band with it.
Cheeze emo band.
Cheese emo band.
Chimo.
Why did you leave me? And I'm
I
gonna
hate
drown.
my hair.
I'm watching you walk away.
Cause you kissed me at summer camp.
All right. So let's check out some of the controls on here. Well, the oscillator controls pretty minimal. You just have your attack and release as far as envelope, and then you got a brightness that controls the filter. It's a set resonance. Also very cheap filter sound.
Yeah.
But you can get like your... Oh, that's crazy. I'm going to turn off the effects so we can just hear the oscillator. So here we kind of get our brass when you turn the brightness all the way up. As you turn it down, it starts to get more string-like. And then if you turn it all the way down, you start to get more of a flute or electric piano. So there's three basic sounds. This does pretty good. And then we can, the main thing I think on this plugin that really, makes it, gives it more possibilities are the effects. You got the ensemble, control speed, amount, and feedback.
This is totally like some stuff that you're gonna make for a Wes Anderson film. Or Wes Anderson, sorry.
This is what Mark Mothersbaugh uses.
Yeah, dude. I love you, Mark Mothersbaugh.
All right, so you got the ensemble. You also get the phaser. This is a crazy phaser. You have a nice. You can.
That's a pretty good phaser for a free plugin.
It's a really
there.
nice phaser, actually. That's the money on this plugin, really. You can make it monophonic if you're into that. You could do leads. Or you could leave it up. So you can control the amount of voices. And it's got a pretty nice reverb as well.
Pretty wet. That's a really wet reverb.
Yeah, I mean, that's just a little bit. But you can also turn down the time, get a little bit smaller sort of studio feel. Actually, that's down all the way and still sounds pretty big.
Yeah, that's a really huge room, man.
It's nice though. You get some echoes.
That sounds great.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on. Next up, I think we should do Invader.
Let's do it.
This one I didn't really do a demo for, just because it's just so crazy. This is sort of like 50s, 60s space sounds. This is one of the presets called Rubber Love. This is glass blocks. Basically, there's two oscillators. You can set them to on frequency modulation on or off. You can also sync them up so that they play the same note. Let's see if we can turn off some of this frequency modulation. And there we go. So now we got actual notes. I'm going to turn...
This is totally the gangster
FM, the frequency modulation is on. So we got two triangle waves going right now. Turn off sync. It's a sawtooth. Oh, there's a triangle. Square.
This is an excellent excellent little thing too.
Yeah, this is really nice. It's got a noise generator. It's kind of crazy noise. Ring mod.
I think I like this one better than the first one.
The sound of the oscillators is a little different. They're kind of weak, I think.
I like it.
And they're good for noise. They're not really as great. I wouldn't really use this for
8-bit gospel.
8-bit gospel. You got your envelope control, or filter envelope. Here's your actual filter. You can modulate that. The great thing about this is two LFOs that can sync to BPM, and you can control the speed. They're crazy LFOs, and you can set every parameter on here, almost every parameter. You can set the filter to modulate off of one LFO 1, 2, or both, which is pretty cool. I'm going to bring up a couple presets that I made on here. And we can make these available if anyone wants. If anyone would like to try out some of the presets I've made for these, just email us at Crosstalk.
You have to come up.
Crosstalk at gearwire.com.
There's a rule though. There's a rule. If you want the presets, you have to make fun of me like better. Like you have to have a quippy little like why you hate Brit.
We will recite it on the air.
No, we will. Seriously, I will read it myself. I would love to get somebody's like.
I'd love to get some email.
Yeah, I would love to get some hate mail.
Okay, so here's
you're cool when you get hate mail, not normal email, man.
Here's one of the presets I was able to come up with after like 10 minutes of messing with it.
Nice.
Yeah, I kind of like this one. This one might be kind of useful in, like, I don't know, gangster rap. And then here's the second one I came up with. This one's a little like a bass.
It's a pretty good lead too, though. Really subtle. Like if you're gonna do like 8-bit drums, you know what I mean? Like the 8-bit drums would do it really fast, kind of dancey. You know what I mean? Like with this over as like a lead, it'd be really nice and lo-fi, like lo-fi dance music. Otherwise known as the 8-bit gospel.
So yeah, Invader by Ephonic. Ephonic also has a really, really great list of free plugins on a new website that he's made.
It's awesome. Thank you, Ephonic.
So last but not least, we got the crackly Cygnus.
Take a look at this one.
Yeah, we
say that 7 times fast.
There's the GUI for this one.
Whoa.
It's space. got some pretty crazy presets. Let's go to the first one. It's got 127 presets, and this is by Crackly, but I think it was actually developed by Tim Conradi. You can see the name right on there. Totally mispronouncing that. But he made some really, really nice presets for this.
All right, now see, is there an option to switch this GUI?
You can put labels on so you can see what everything's doing.
Yeah.
And there's actually another GUI that's actually a different DLL.
Wow.
But I also have a couple presets for this one.
To get the presets for this one, you have to send Mike Payne hate mail.
Yeah.
Okay.
Everybody loves me.
This one is way more
Call your girlfriend and ask that question.
Not right now, she doesn't.
So this is just kind of like horror movie sound patch.
Can we start drinking on this?
Ask Schrock, man.
Schrock.
Basically, this... I should probably bring up the other GUI to
kind of explain
explain what it does. This one's called Cygnus-O. Bring that up.
A lot more conventional looking.
Yeah. And let me actually patch this MIDI to the other one. All right.
Do it up.
Basically, you got 3 oscillators. You got your regular oscillator right here. It's kind of hard to like get your mind around this one. There's no volume control for every oscillator. This is basically a harmonic oscillator. You can control harmonics over here. And then the second oscillator is the FM oscillator. That basically is sort of like a really fast LFO. There's the FM oscillator. You just turn them on and off with these little buttons. I'm not sure if the camera can see it. Can you see it all right?
Sorry.
Yeah, that's okay. Master volume control. And then you got your third oscillator over here. This one is really, it's sort of like an airy type oscillator, if you can hear that. You got envelope control for all 3 oscillators.
Explain that sequencer thing.
Yeah, this is really where Cygnus gets crazy.
Okay.
Each oscillator has an independent sequencer, or just 8-note sequence or arpeggiator, and you can control how much it's affected by the arpeggiator using the height control. So I'm just going to turn the height control up on all of them. As you can see, it's stepping through these. You can control how fast it goes. Now we're getting into crazy land over here.
This is totally like basically a real small version of Reason. You just hook up a matrix to a maelstrom, and then you got what you got right here.
If I turn down the delay, we might be able to hear stuff a little better. So yeah, it's got pretty nice delay. It's very reverby delay. So you can just control all of these to, maybe we can hear it a little better if we just go like that. That's the first oscillator, I believe.
That's sweet. Whoa.
That's awesome.
I just turned down the glide on all the sequences.
Wait, where can we download this one up?
This one is from Crackly.
Crackly.
Crackly is the
You got that,
name of the
guys?
developer.
We'll have links to this at the Gearwire Crosstalk
check the
page
website
for this
for links.
podcast.
Yeah, definitely check our XML page. Here's the second preset that I did.
And for this preset, you must make fun of Dan.
Yeah, it is a pretty crappy preset. Make fun of my presets for this preset. This one's a little more conventional, kind of like a space string pad.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean,
In space, nobody can hear me
this is
talk.
great. This is great for just like modulatory pads, sort of the kind of thing you might do in like Absinthe or something like that.
Yeah, that's what it reminds me of.
What I would
quite a
really
bit.
like to see on here is like another oscillator, or maybe replace one of the oscillators with like a sound font generator or a sampler where it could play back samples instead. I think that'd be really cool if you just added to that. So
Well,
if you're listening correctly.
That's very cool stuff. We're actually going to have quite a bit more of these. There's thousands of free soft synths on the web for PC.
Yeah.
And
We're gonna help you find the good ones.
yes, we are. We're going to go through quite a bit of them. We got some exciting ones coming up. Ones that I really love. The Peach and Toad by
Yeah, that sounds exciting.
by Tweakbench.
Hey, if any of you guys who are developers are listening, if you develop a Commodore 64 plugin, I will personally conduct the interview.
Well, there you go.
As he's texting.
Hey, man, business is business.
21st century.
All right. Well, that concludes the Gearwire.com Crosstalk podcast for Friday, August 3rd. Be sure to visit us at Gearwire.com and be sure to tune in next week for more news, how-tos, and hard-hitting reviews. Thanks, everybody, for listening, and we'll see you next week.
All right,
Thanks,
later.
guys.
Bye.